Hello and welcome back to the Making Fire podcast. This is a podcast where two longtime besties talk about their favorite TV show, Survivor. This week we are doing a rewind, I gotta rewind, featuring Charlie XCX. We're talking about Survivor 20 Heroes vs. Villains, episode 4. Tonight we make our move.
Tonight we make our move. POV, you're Mitch every episode of last season.
Tonight is the night we make our move. That's what it's giving. Very like Disney Channel hero. Tonight we make our move. Anyhow, before we get into the dirty details of this season, Maddie, I have to ask you how you're doing.
Thank you for asking. I am doing all right. If you live in the Midwest or you know about what's going on, it's sort of a heat wave at the moment, which has unfortunately kept me inside like the past multiple days, and it's supposed to be stormy the rest of the week, so that's really fun for me. But what I have to talk about, to jump off what Riley's mentioned the past few episodes, it did give me ample opportunity to catch all the way up on Love Island. I just am so glad I'm watching it. I think there's something so special about watching a show as it's coming out and being able to understand all the jokes and the like conversations happening around it online. And I'm just glad to like finally be part of the know, in the know, one might say.
In the know.
And what an interesting season. What an interesting group of people. I think it's just, I can't imagine like the process of wanting to be on that show. I think like it takes, and I'm so glad that there are people willing to do it and like put themselves out there for the entertainment of America and for the chance to find love. But like it truly just
entertainment first, chance to find love second.
I mean, honestly, like if you see how many followers they're getting on social media, like,
Jalen left the house. He didn't even finish the season. He was on for like 4 days and he reached 1.2 million followers on TikTok.
And all the brand deals, sponsorships, reaching out to him. Exactly. Like, I think he got more out of it than most of them will, to be honest. And I'm so happy for him because he deserved to be on there longer. Also, or maybe not. I think these are a messy group of people and, he's still on his love journey. But anyways, I'm just glad to have caught up. Lots of good drama that's been happening recently. Definitely a little bit of a slow start, but I'm excited to see where it goes. But that's really just like all I did all weekend. So not really much else to update on. So Riley, how are you?
I'm doing so good. I sort of, in the mere moments before starting this podcast, realized that I didn't have anything to talk about. So I'm just gonna stand on. I'm gonna talk about an album of music that I just love and appreciate so much. I think everybody, if you haven't listened to it, Art Pop by Lady Gaga. One of the best albums of all time, I do just have to say. I've been listening. It's been on my rotation. Have I talked about this album before on here?
I think we've like mentioned Lady Gaga.
Now I'm talking about it, and I'm like, I feel like I'm having deja vu.
We have new listeners.
Exactly.
I talk to you every week, and I don't remember. So
right. Listen to Art Pop by Lady Gaga. Mayhem is out right now. Great album. But if you want, I feel like Art Pop is the forgettable older sibling. And I feel like
Not
we
the
need
forgettable older sibling.
It happens. And I don't feel like we should forget it. Like, Art Pop, there's so many good songs in here. Aura, Venus, GUI. I want to be that GUI. Guy Under You. Love. Art Pop, Donatella, Fashion. It's just good. Applause is such a good song. I live for a perfect pop song, one might say. I love that song. Listen to Art Pop, you guys. That's my media of the week. I'm standing on my soapbox and saying, if you leave with this podcast with one thing, number 1, subscribe. Number 2, go listen to Art Pop by Lady Gaga. Number 3, go watch Love Island.
And number 4, follow us on TikTok.
Right. In that order, please. But yeah, that was it. Listen to Art Pop, you guys. What a fun way to start the pod. Maybe should I sing a song? No, I'll save it. Y'all come out to karaoke. Come watch me sing a song if you want me to sing an art pop song. Or get us to 1,000 followers on TikTok. We'll go live and I'll sing a song from art pop. How about that?
That sounds like a deal.
That sounds like a deal.
I agree with you on the Lady Gaga recommendation. I listened to Mayhem from start to finish recently. Such an incredible album. Like, she just is so good.
She is.
And I feel like I need like the younger audience and generation to start like getting into it.
You just have to appreciate Gaga. There's something about like the Fame, Born This Way. Like, there's something about these albums that are so distinctly of their time and of their moment. Like, they sound so 2009, so 2010. But then, like, on a re-listen 15 years later, you're like, oh my god, this is magic. Like, you ate this in a way. Like, everybody, Gaga, when we were growing up, like, that was like a joke. Like, everybody was like, all the paparazzi, all like the news people, they were just like, Gaga's like, there's no longevity to this artist. And look at her now. Oh,
still putting out,
I know, great music. I love Mayhem.
Yeah.
I'm a killer. See, that's that. Hey, get us to 1,000 followers on TikTok. I'll sing a song from Mayhem too. How about that? Art Pop and Mayhem. We'll do a full Lady Gaga karaoke night over on the Making Fire Pod Instagram.
We're on our way. Our growth in the past like week and a half.
Right. Everybody go follow us there.
We're over 1/10 of the way there.
And that's such a positive way to look at it, Maddie.
Just think, how many more weeks until we hit that?
I think at least 3, but at most 7.
At most 7? Wow. End of summer.
I'm just confident. Okay, let's get into this episode. So we start off, the villains just voted out Randy, old man Randy. And they get back to the camp, and Coach is having a kind of a crisis.
And like an identity crisis.
Right.
Like, what am I doing with my life?
A whole thing. A whole thing. He's ranting to Tyson. It's specifically Sandra's comment that she made to him that's really... Sandra basically was like, he doesn't do anything around camp. He preaches, but he doesn't do the work. And Coach is like, that's BS. Sometimes...
no, that's not true.
You know that's not true. I watched this and I'm like, I can't believe Sandra goes on to win this season. Because, like, what a weird position so early in the game to have somebody that is actively being like, Sandra badmouthed me. That evil woman.
The impact of her and her words is truly...
She's just so, iconic.
She's just got that it factor.
She does. There's something so special about the way that she's able to talk bad about people and sort of walk free.
And also, but get so deep into their head about it.
Right. This does happen a lot, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's her words.
I think it's like her nonchalant delivery.
Yes.
Where it's like, I don't know. It just, the way it hits. It's just so,
right.
It hits different.
Right.
From her.
So quite interesting to see this play out because of Sandra's words. Coach is panicking basically to Tyson, and Tyson is like, I can help you. And Coach is like, how? And Tyson's like, change everything about yourself. Become a whole new person. Don't do anything that you think is normal. Like, literally, I would just stop breathing, and that would be a good start.
Yeah. Is
basically what Tyson says. I think an iconic quote from this is, don't wear feathers in your hair at Tribal.
And while you're at it, change your outfit.
And while you're at it, change your outfit, and never talk ever again.
No.
That's just where I'd start.
Yeah. Maybe cut it with the yoga. No more Dragon Slayer.
Right. But that's his whole brand. I mean, like, you got Coach on a season of Survivor. I'm like, watching this and I'm like, oh my god, season 50 is about to be insane. Because you know this man is about to double down.
I know. What is that going to be like for him?
I don't know. It's going to be interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
Coach says that he might quit. He says that I don't know if I have it in me to do all of this. And I don't know, because last episode Colby was also in the same mindset of like, I don't know if I have it in me to play this game.
But I'm also like, what does he mean? Like, all of this. Like, he's not really interested in all of this. I'm like, did her one comment, like, really shake you that bad, that bad that, like, you feel that threatened? Or, like, I don't know.
I think it got to the point where it was less about Sandra's comment and more about the reality that Tyson instilled in him and was like, hey, that isn't just a Sandra thing. Everybody feels that way about you. She's just the
Yeah.
only one that said it. And I think that probably threw him for a loop. But it's part of the game. I mean, I hate to say it, but it is part of Survivor. Like, if there's a part of your person, we saw it with Emily on 40, is that 46? 45? Oh my god, did you see that Sabaya and Katora are dating?
Yes. Oh my
They-
god.
Oh, so obsessed with that.
What a standout moment of this Pride.
I love when girls kiss girls. I have to say it.
Specifically those ones.
Specifically
Our
those
Survivor
ones,
queens.
I'm like, kicking my feet. I'm like,
Were they our winner picks?
I think they were. I think Katora was mine and Sabaya was
I
yours.
think Spy was. We really.
If you really think
manifested-
about it, we are the reason that they're together.
I honestly think so, because what a coincidence.
Get them on the pod.
Right. Like, we were just manifesting that for them.
We
this
were,
whole
and
time.
that's the
we didn't
reason
even
why.
Know that was
No.
I didn't even know that's what I was doing.
Like, we put it out in the universe, and the universe said, neither of them are going to win this game, but wait until you see what I have cooking.
Yes. So I'm so happy for them. I'm so happy for us. Like, this is just a win for the community.
Your community?
The community.
Which community?
The community at large.
Right.
Survivor community.
Right. Happy Survivor Pride Month, everybody. Love
And
that
that's,
for
I mean, no, we really did manifest it too with our new branding for Pride Month.
Exactly.
Like, it's all of the pieces are coming together
it is. We built this puzzle
in a big way.
in a big way, y'all. We have things at work right now. Be careful. The Making Fire podcast might turn you gay.
Careful.
Careful. Disclaimer. Trigger warning. They're worried about the drag queens we did the kids, baby. You should be worried about the Making Fire podcast. That's all I'm saying. The Making Fire podcast Pride theme. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, those thumbnails.
Those thumbnails are getting y'all. I know they are. I forgot. Oh, sometimes the point of all that was sometimes you do have to change things about yourself. Emily, most, I think, famously in recent memory, had to do basically a full 180 personality change to survive in the game. Sometimes you just have to do it.
I'm so excited to see her again.
Me too. Her and Coach, maybe that's something they can bond over.
Yeah.
Aw.
Them on a beach together is so interesting.
I'm so excited. Somebody put together I didn't look at it, but the well-researched possibility of what what the tribes are, the starting tribes are for Survivor 50. Mm-hmm. I didn't look at them, so I can't report on it, but I think it's all this. I hope that I'm kind of scared that the winner is going to get leaked, or the top 3 is going to get leaked.
How would they even, like, come up with the research to know what tribe, or, like, to...
Well, there's people who are, people within Survivor production who leak things. I would assume that's how most people get their information. At this point, they've been out for, 16, 17 days, I think. So, people have been being voted out. I don't know. It'll be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Hopefully nothing gets spoiled or not. I don't know. Knock on wood.
I've been avoiding everything.
Yeah, I should start doing that too. It's just hard. Sometimes I just like I don't like spoilers, but I like knowing.
I like
being like, oh, I know what's going on. Like
theorizing.
yes,
it all.
but I don't
when people
like
come with actual facts.
Yes, and they're like, this is what happens, and I'm like, oh, not too much. Anyways, so we back to Heroes versus Villains. The next morning after the villains vote out Randy, Rob goes up to Coach and is trying to make him feel better and make him feel like he's not on the outside. And Coach really wants to do stuff with Rob. He wants to play with Rob. He wants to be friends with Rob. He wants to be Rob.
Yeah.
And Rob said, no homo. And Coach said, yeah, no homo, bro.
Rob's like, keep that to yourself.
Keep that to yourself. And I don't know, Coach is getting very emotional about this. Like, he really wants to work with Rob and feels like Rob is not reciprocating that. And Rob is like, dude, trust me, it will all be okay. You just have to blindly follow me. You just have to blindly listen to everything I say, and it will be good.
Yeah.
Rob, I don't know about all that. That's interesting. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best way to instill trust in people.
Yeah.
It works.
It's really just giving, hey, I'm going to lead you to the end, but then I'm going to win.
Right. That's what it's giving. Like, I'm like, this is giving the thought process that has worked for you a couple times, but has also really hindered you multiple times.
Yeah, because you've also not won. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Coach, we get another fun Coach edit. This is like the third time in the first 4 episodes that we're getting a very heavy Coach having his moment. He's like, I'm like no other person out here. Nobody has played Survivor like me. And we get a full edit of him doing his little yoga and his thought processes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Survivor's obsessed with Coach.
I know, like, how much... They had shorter episodes back then. So much screen time is going to this Coach reflection journey every episode.
And it's interesting because it's not like this is it would be different if Coach makes it all the way, right? Like, if Coach is making it to the end of the season.
If this is his winner's journey.
Right. We're like, okay, but instead of getting actual confessional and strategic time from Sandra, we're getting confessionals from Coach, who goes out before the merge.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. Yeah, spoiler alert, but also it's been out for a long time. How little we do get from Sandra.
Right.
Like, she can't just be doing nothing.
And I know she's not just doing nothing.
Yeah.
Get her on the pod.
Get her on the pod.
Well,
I mean, you guys are friends, right?
We are friends. We go back a long time.
Mm-hmm.
We've had dinner. We've had dinner together.
Yeah.
So I'll connect. I'll have my people reach out to her people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll get back to you about that. They go to a reward challenge. Before they go, they get a thing in Tree Mail from. They get a Sears catalog. Flashback to a Sears catalog.
This was crazy.
They get to pick 2 things from the Sears catalog that they get to play for. I love the idea of this being a reward, and I feel like this is something that they should bring back to a new era.
I thought that not only this catalog thing is such a good idea. I think it's so fun. I love that one of the options was like an air mattress.
Right.
That was cracking me up. But I mean, we'll get to it as well. But the challenges this episode were all so good. And things that they can totally do nowadays.
Anyway, so the Sears catalog is... I think it's a good idea. The challenges this episode, I also wrote that down, were very smooth looking.
And the Sears catalog doesn't even need to be sponsored by Sears this day and age. But I just love the idea of them getting to pick what would be most useful to their tribe and their needs.
I do need more sponsorships. You and I have talked about this. Some of the most iconic moments from Survivor happen with sponsorships. I need a Wingstop sponsorship on Survivor.
That would be...
Girl, if I was on Survivor, we did the auction, and they pulled out... Oof. They pulled out a 10... What would be good? Yeah, a 10-piece bone-in, 5 garlic parm, 5 hot honey, a large fry, sweet tea, 2 ranches. Oh, ooh, baby, I'm betting all that money. I'd walk out of Survivor right there for that meal.
I need them to turn the sanctuary into a Wingstop for a second.
Into a Wingstop.
It wouldn't be that hard.
I don't think it would be.
Like, it's just frozen chicken and like sauces. Like, that is not asking for. If you can do Applebee's in Fiji, you can do Wingstop.
Baby, get that Wingstop deal. Okay, what's the equivalent to a Sears? A Ross Dress for Less. A Macy's.
I was gonna say probably like a Macy's or like J.C. Penney.
I think a Ross Dress for Less deal would be better. That could be the food reward. You just get snacks from Ross Dress for Less.
Oh, yeah, like the checkout one.
You get popcorn flavored like lavender and paprika, and then you get freeze dried Skittles.
Yes, and like some unique cookies that come in some fun packaging.
Right.
With a little ribbon on top.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And coffee flavored like
Jelly beans.
like jelly beans and donuts.
Yeah. Oh my
That's
God.
my dream reward on Survivor. I think we need to be on the production crew for Survivor and be planning these rewards.
I'm saying, I feel like we could be just doing, with all due respect, such a good and better job. Like,
Right.
I don't understand why there aren't more sponsorships, because I feel like this, even just seeing the Sears is so funny and just like connects you to them even more.
Right.
And I love the like performance of it. Specifically the Sears catalog.
Oh my God, Sears or the Craftsman tool set.
Yeah, it's so good. Why didn't we have Applebee's on Survivor last season? Like,
I don't know. I don't know what happened.
why aren't we hooking up Chili's and giving them triple dippers?
That's what I've been saying. Ooh, girl, I know one mozzarella stick on that island. You are done for. Ooh, you are never coming back from a reward challenge. Chili's mozzarella stick, baby. That you're gonna have to get medevaced after that one.
You're gonna need to go all the way down the beach in the water. You're gonna need your own island,
Baby. The fallback from that in itself.
They're gonna have to add an extra day onto production because everyone's gonna be so out of commission.
Yeah, they say everybody gets half a mozzarella stick and a lactate pill and hope for the best.
You know what? Actually, it's not a bad idea because I feel like in a recent season someone like hadn't pooped in a long time. Like
Liz, I think. It was Liz. She hadn't pooped like the whole time she was out there.
oh my God, if only she could have had some jellies.
Right, girl. She just
Applebee's
needed.
does not have that effect.
I see you
at least
eat
on me.
every day. Oh no, she actually got the Applebee's reward, didn't she? Because her daughter and her, that was their thing.
Yeah.
Every Wednesday they'd go to Applebee's.
Yeah. I hope that someday you and I can go to Applebee's every Wednesday together.
Me too.
Guys, blow this podcast up.
Blow this podcast up. Neither of us will need to work anymore.
We can commute.
We can. The private jet will take me to Maddie. Maddie's private jet will take me to me, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. We actually won't go to each other's houses. We'll meet somewhere.
Like Utah?
Montana.
Yeah.
We start recording at Yellowstone National Park.
Yes.
Is that in?
That's like
that?
Wyoming.
Got it.
Close
Let's get back to this challenge now. So the reward challenge itself. Well, first, so for the tribes got to pick two things from the Trademark Sears catalog, and the heroes picked fishing equipment and a pole and a kitchen dining set, and the villains picked a heavy tool kit, a tarp, rope, and twine. Whoever wins the reward challenge will get their respected pick of things. You know what I think would be interesting and maybe like a fun way to do in the new era, because there is such little time, is that each tribe picks one thing, and then the winning tribe gets both of those things. So instead of you getting 4 things, you get 2 things, but then like you get the other tribes like.
I love that idea.
Because then at some point you're going to merge, and then you'll still have all the things that both tribes wanted. But I think they've done that. I don't know. I think they've done that some sort of form of that twist.
I just can't believe no one picked the like couch and chairs. And I'm kidding.
Right.
The blow-up mattress really got me. Like, there's no world in which they would pick that.
So interesting. I mean, like, what do you do when it's going to deflate?
And like 2 of you, maybe 3 of you can be on it.
Do you get it pumped up? Does production pump it up every night?
Yeah. Like, what?
Production forces you to blow, like you have to blow air into the mattress. So heroes pick that, villains pick that, and then the tribe is the simple challenges this season. They there's this huge slide with little balls hanging. It's a slip and slide, and they're covered in oil. Everybody is covered in oil. This is crazy. And they have to slide themselves down the slide with the oil on their bodies on the slide, and they have to grab these balls with the right number on them. Grab the ball and then throw the ball into the hoop or into the basket. And the first the first person to get in the basket will score a point for their tribe. First tribe to win 4 points will win immunity. Win reward.
I love this.
It's so simple, but it's so silly and fun to watch.
It's the perfect amount of like physical but individual.
Right. Like there's
But
no
it
actual
doesn't-
like physical, like they're not touching each other.
No, and it doesn't really take a lot of skill.
No.
Like it's simple and effective.
Mitch would have
and,
ate
like,
this challenge up.
It's very visually funny to watch.
It is. The visually funny putting Sandra versus James.
But even at the same time, like, it's all up to how you slide. And how
Right.
you throw it. But, like, it wasn't this crazy imbalance
No.
match.
But it's funny to watch. I mean, James has the power to push himself basically all the way to the end. Sandra makes it halfway in between the starting point and where the balls are, and then she has to walk the rest of the way. She doesn't even make it to the map before James gets the thing in. It's just silly. Mm-hmm. The villains pull out in an early lead, but the heroes catch up. Ultimately, Tyson wins the challenge, the reward challenge for them, and the villains get their toolkit and their tarp and rope and twine. Now they got 2 things of twine: Sandra Diaz and the rope.
She said, "Why do we need twine? I'm right here."
Exactly. One of my favorite moments from Sandra on her original season, they do the piracy twist where they're able to like go to the camp and steal, and Sandra goes, and the tribe that she goes tried to hide the tarp in their thing, but then she's like, I'll take the tarp. So then she has to deconstruct their whole shelter because none of them will help them. But then they get mad at her when she's like, I'm going to cut the twine. And they're like, you can't cut the twine. We need to keep that. Mm-hmm. She's like, y'all aren't helping me take it down, so I'm going to do what I need to do.
I love that. See, and that's, if we had better rewards, adding the piracy twist, that's so funny.
It is so funny.
Imagine.
Sandra
Especially-
being like, thank y'all. As she's leaving, she's like, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thank you. She knows what she's doing.
It's too good.
I love her. Post-reward challenge. We go back to the villains. Morale is high. Coach is feeling better. And he proclaims that he's not going to change anything about himself.
I love that for him.
He said, if I was you, I'd want to be me
Me
too.
too.
I'd want to be me too. They're going through the toolkit they just got. And Russell...
Rob said, hey, not too much on that. Keep it to yourself.
Russell pulls out a knife from the toolkit and unscathe... What is it? What's that thing? Unsheaths. Ooh, you little nerd. Russell unsheaths the knife, and there is a clue for the idol in there. And we, the audience, know Russell Hantz is the idol king. Nobody on this island knows that this man fiends for a hidden immunity idol.
He says, don't even tempt me with one of those.
Right, exactly. Maybe if this is the Garden of Eden, he'd be screwed. That's all I'm saying. So he sees it. Rob picks up the clue and reads it out loud. Mm-hmm. And everybody's there. The whole tribe is there. And the old schoolers are confused, but you can see Russell's mind is working. I mean, if you think about it, the idol had only been out for like 9 seasons before this one aired. Half of these people, last time they played was before season 11 when they debuted. So yeah. Rob has never, at this point, has never played with an idol. Sandra has never. Danielle, I guess Danielle all these. It's just like it's a lot of these people have never even touched an idol or been in a game where an idol has been played, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's just not part of the lexicon of Survivor that they know. Even though these are some really great Survivor players, and they come to the point where if somebody gets the idol, then they're going to be the first one to get voted because they need to flush the idol. And at one point, Danielle was like, how does that make sense? And Sandra was like, why would we keep you in the game if you have an idol? So that seems to be the tribe consensus. It's whoever goes for it is gonna get got after.
I wish that these were the questions we were asking on Survivor 48.
Exactly. Nobody cares about the idol anymore. Like at this point, the idol was so scary, but now they're just like somebody like, who knows? Yeah. Oh, we know Eva has it. We'll just let her stay until the end.
Yeah.
Girl. Russell, they're working on the shelter. They're putting their new tarp up, and Russell goes off immediately to look for the idol. And
I'm gonna take a walk.
He said, "Let me go take a walk, get some things." And Rob clocks it immediately. Rob says, "You don't understand. I'm clocking it and standing on business." Have you seen the clip?
On business.
Have you seen the clip of Justin Bieber?
Yes.
Work Justin Bieber. Russell goes out and Russell goes out and Rob clocks him immediately. And Rob's like, Sandra, go follow him. See what he's doing. Another iconic quote. I think the moments we do get from Sandra this season are pretty iconic. Like, everything I think has been sort of put in the Survivor Hall of Fame.
She's got a great, Rolodex of one-liners.
Right. A good dialect, a good lexicon, a good Rolodex of one-liners. She is watching Russell, sees him, and goes, he's a stupid ass. It's too good. It's too good. Everybody immediately is like, we can't trust him, and he has to be the next one to go. Or he has to be the next one that gets our votes. Like, that's what's going to have to happen.
And he did it to himself.
And he did it at my birthday dinner. The next morning at the Heroes Tribe, they have some coffee they're making. Similarly, there is a scroll in the coffee beans that they're making. Tom finds it, or JT finds it.
When did they get the coffee beans?
I don't remember. You look it up. You look at your notes, and I'll explain what's going on here. So they're making coffee. They find this scroll, and it falls out. And Tom and JT, they read it aloud. They're all swarming around it. And immediately, everybody's looking for this idol.
They did get it last week.
They did.
Yeah. The reward was coffee and a week of rice and their personal items.
That we've yet to see.
Yes.
But we saw the coffee beans. Work. So everybody scrams to find this idol. Tom immediately finds the tree that the clue is referencing and starts digging. Amanda don't give a shit. She is going, and we'll see it later in the season. There's kind of an iconic reward little scramble between her and Danielle. Amanda doesn't care. She said, I'm getting that idol one way or another. So Amanda's digging at the tree. Tom is digging at the tree. Then James comes up. All three of them are digging. Tom finds it and tries to slyly sort of put it away and kind of gets away with it for a second. But then Amanda sees him tucking it away in his sock. Clocks that and tells everybody immediately.
Can't get nothing past Amanda Kimmel.
No, nothing past her. She's going to let everybody know. Everybody know. And that's sort of where we leave off in this pre-immunity challenge.
Can't get nothing past Mandy Kim. I was trying to think of what the nickname was.
Mandy Kim. Did we call her that?
Yeah. We were like, imagine she goes on a season of Survivor, but she pretends that it's not her.
She goes by Mandy Kim. I remember. That's kind of an iconic name now.
Yeah. When she goes into her stealth mode, that's Mandy Kim.
Work, Mandy Kim. We go to the immunity challenge. Kind of a simple challenge. We've seen this, I feel like, a couple different iterations. We strap a person unblindfolded in a ball. Then two people push the person in the ball through a sort of track. And then the person gets to the end of the challenge and gets positioned in a way that they help four blindfolded people do like a maze puzzle with a rolling ball. The first person to land the ball in the end goal spot will win immunity.
I love this challenge.
Very simple.
But so effective.
So effective. I had to remember, so before, a lot of these challenges this season are repeat challenges from past seasons. And Jeff says that this was played on Russell's season last season, but they had to medically evacuate someone and didn't get to finish the challenge. I forgot what happened. Remembered Russell Swan sort of passing out and hitting his head on the maze, and that was sort of a big deal. So unfortunate for him. And it's okay. Russell Swan ends up coming back later in the show. It all works out. It's okay. But Jeff says whoever wins this challenge will be the first tribe. They'll be the first people to ever win this challenge, which is kind of exciting. Rob and Tom are the respective guides for their individual challenges. Rob for the villains, Tom for the heroes, and Rob pulls out in an early lead, and it kind of is the lead that they need to win. The villains kind of easily pull out this win at the end yet again.
I know they edited it to make it look really close at the maze portion, but I just have a feeling it wasn't that close.
I have a feeling it wasn't that close either. I think because there's really no, like, once you lose, like, once you're far behind, there's really no makeup point in a challenge like this. Like, unless the villains were really bad at the maze, but the maze seemed pretty simple. Like, it seemed pretty easy to get through.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
It's
the
still
villains
fun.
pull out. The villains pull it out, and the heroes are going back to their third tribal council. 3 out of 4 is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's tough.
We go back to camp, and at this point, everybody knows that Tom has the idol. His goal now is to find cracks in the thing to see if he can better position himself and Colby to use it in a correct way.
Mm-hmm.
Candace goes off to with Suri, and is proposing a 3-3 vote between her, Colby, and Tom. Wait. That doesn't make sense.
Between Colby and Tom.
Yes, between Colby and Tom. A 3-3 vote between the remaining 6 people that aren't Colby and Tom, I guess is what I meant to say.
Mm-hmm.
To vote out Colby and Tom. So then if one of them uses the idol, for sure one of them will go home.
Mm-hmm.
And Suri listens, and she's like, okay, this seems like a good idea. One of them will go. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
JT is talking with Amanda and is feeling that Candace should be the one to go home. He trusts Tom and Colby, and they, because they're straight shooters, he feels like they're being honest with him and their relationship is more tight. He thinks that Candace is shady and he can't necessarily be trusted. And now, I'm not saying JT is any type of person. I'm not saying anything. Do I feel like he just has a problem trusting women, maybe?
Women that are too strategical.
Women that are too strategical, yes.
But also, he's
It's
got
not
a little
like-
country twang.
I'm trying to think of his original season, and there wasn't really a lot of women that were his, there wasn't a lot of women causing him problems that season. Like, Aaron, maybe. Taj was working with him.
Yeah.
Sierra, maybe, but, like, there was no really strong, other than Taj. Taj played a good, like, social game. She was, like, well-liked, but there wasn't a lot of, like, opposition to JT at all in that season. So I find it weird. This seems to be a recurring theme where he's just like, the girls.
Mm-hmm.
He can't trust Candace I guess he can trust Amanda. I don't know. It's just an interesting thing. So this is where we start seeing the cracks form. People are having different opinions on what should happen tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Tom is using the idol as a way to get himself in, and he's really trying to work with JT and Amanda. And Amanda is trusting him. Amanda feels like Tom is being truthful. There is a basis to what's happening here. Good things could come from this.
Mm-hmm.
And James walks up and sort of agrees with all of this as well. He's seeing what's happening. And
It's not too messy for him.
it's not too messy for him.
Not too much social stuff for him.
Not too much social. And the proposal Tom has is that they should get rid of Suri tonight. She is untrustworthy. She's very strategic. She's not great at challenges. And they need to start winning challenges. Ultimately, I think that's the big selling point for Tom. But he, as we saw from episode 1, knows that Suri can be very, like, hit or miss. Like, you can't put your full trust in her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, we should vote out Suri. And it seems like they're all... I think I totally just messed all that up. I don't think he was voting out Suri. It was Candace that he wanted to vote out.
Oh, yeah.
At this point of the episode. Yes.
And
Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. My journalism is... I have to have journalistic integrity, and I let you all know that I just was spreading fake news. I jumped ahead of myself.
I'll
This
give
is
the opportunity to rewrite history.
okay. Let me rewrite history real quick. Don't cut all of that out because all I'm gonna say is this is basically the argument that Tom is using now is coming later in the episode. I just switched at what point the arguments were happening.
Yes.
So at first the argument is happening about Candace originally, and it's like, okay, let's just get Candace out.
But even yes. But I think it's easy to skip over because it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
No, it doesn't make sense. And it ends up being a non-factor in the vote anyway.
Yeah.
But originally, Tom is like, we need to vote Candace out. Mm-hmm. And basically the same reasons that I just used for Suri, he was using on Candace.
Yeah, for like no reason.
Right. He was just like, Candace is not trustworthy. She won't stick with us, blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Let's get Candace out. So then Amanda goes back to Suri, and they're talking in the forest. And Amanda's like, they want to vote Candace out tonight, so we should vote Candace out. And Suri's like, girl, what?
She's like, that's the dumbest move that we could do.
Suri, and then she gets a confessional, and Suri's like, I love Amanda, but she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Like, Suri has a point. Suri's like, why would you vote out Candace, who's willing to work with you, and Sean has worked with you, and now work with two people who have literally voted against you the first two tribals?
Yeah, it makes zero sense.
Like, they want to get you out. Why would you work? Why would you side with them?
And they have the idol. Like,
right.
In no way should you work with them or, like, do what they want.
Because who knows what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. So Suri, and then people start coming. So Rupert comes over and James comes over. Little do they know that JT is near them somewhere and can hear them talking, but they don't know JT is around them. Mm-hmm. They can hear Suri being like, no, we need to stick to the 3-3 plan. We can't vote Candace out. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would we vote Candace out here? You guys are getting lost in the sauce. Like, stick with the plan. I say we just stick to the plan.
Yes.
JT is obviously not very happy about this because JT, as we heard, would rather get Candace out. So he takes that to Tom and Colby. And he takes it to them to sort of try to apologize. He's like, hey, I don't think it's going to happen tonight. It's going to have to be a 3-3 split on you guys. Candace, they are set on Candace. They're set on one of you going home. Like, they don't see a world where Candace should go. Mm-hmm. And Tom is like, how about we don't do that?
No.
How about we don't vote me out? How about we stick to that plan? How about we stick to that plan?
Yeah.
And this is where, because JT, in his winning strategical mind, is pushing that Suri is the reason this isn't happening. It's like, Suri's the puppet master. Suri's the mind behind all of this. We need to lock in on that.
Yeah.
Tom then says, well, hey, how about you, me, talking to JT. Tom's like, you, JT, Colby, and me vote Suri out. JT, if you don't vote in the 3-3, I played my idol on myself. That'll negate the 3 votes against me. Mm-hmm. You vote with us. We'll have the majority to vote Suri out.
Yeah.
And then we cut to tribal. Before we go, JT's like, I don't know what I have to do. I might just have to be a straight shooter tonight and just do what I know.
But it also feels like, well, you definitely do know what you want to do because you're going around with the information. And
right.
Like, you wouldn't have done that otherwise.
Right.
I don't know.
I have a hard time with JT. It's been a while since I watched Tokensheens, but I don't remember. I don't think his game was this wishy-washy. I think it was a little like he just was friends with everybody, and that's why his game works so well. Mm-hmm. But this time, it's less that he's friends with everybody and more that he is making a strategic choice to work with people at specific moments. Mm-hmm. And it feels less friendly and more, you don't have the power, so I'm not working with you, if that makes sense.
Yes. There's also a lot of the charm.
Yes, there's not I think that's exactly the point. The charm has worn off at this point. And maybe it's because we've seen how his game works. We've seen that he can sort of be a little backstabby. But it's just, I don't know if it's coming off in a good way. Like it's not
off-putting.
It feels off-putting. I don't think again, spoiler alert for the rest of the season, he obviously doesn't make it to the end of the game. He gets cut very early in the merge, but I think he might even be the first merge boot. But I feel like he what am I trying to say? That even if he made it to the end of the game, I don't think these people would have awarded the game that he's playing.
Yes.
Because it feels less friendly and trying to be friends with everybody and more, oh, you were just using me as a pawn.
Yes.
You are right. There is a lack of charm to the game he's playing this time around.
Yes. He's not, like, keeping anyone on his good side.
Right.
With these decisions.
Right. Do you have anything else before we go to Tribal?
No. I don't know. It's disappointing.
It is disappointing. Disappointing thing. So we get to Tribal, and the overarching theme for this Tribal, sort of the core conversation is, should you vote for tribe strength, or should you vote to keep your alliances safe?
Mm-hmm.
And Rupert is like, I don't know if I really care about tribe strength at this point. Like, I would rather keep the people safe who I gave my word to. And Jeff is like, I think that's stupid. Jeff is like,
sassy Jeff back.
Get sassy Jeff back. Jeff is like, Rupert, what you just said sounds stupid.
Frankly, stupid and dumb.
Doesn't make any sense. Your tribe keeps losing, and so you don't want to keep the strong people around. You'd rather keep your alliances safe. At some point, your alliance is just going to dwindle. Like, you're not going to have people left.
I even thought he was making comments about, like, you can't just play this clean, honorable game. Like, you have to play and, like, all this stuff. I'm like, where was this energy
in 48
last season?
Right. It's interesting. Again, and Maddie and I talked about this before. Check out our TikTok page. There's a TikTok about it. Thinking about how, like, the conversations that Jeff have with players now versus then. Like, there's something very antagonistic about the way he asked this question. Very like, you're being stupid. Do you know you're being stupid? Yes. Where in the new era, it's much more open-ended. He's like, well, do you understand that, this is part of the game? Like, he's not directly calling out bad actions for bad actions. He's just like, is this something that you're considering in your decision-making? It's much more of like
a backseat sort of.
Yes.
Like, he's just taken himself sort of out of it.
Yes.
But I really like when he's... I think I liked about Jeff in this is, like, he really at this point is seeing like what the audience is seeing, and it feels like he's connecting more and like speaking how we would want to. Yes. Where now it's like I don't agree with what Jeff is saying, and like
it feels like in today's era he is playing the role of executive producer, not like in the way for the audience, but it seems like he just wants to be like part of the show with the people in the game. Like, he's like, I'm here with y'all on the island. But really, and I think what your point is and what works so well in this old era is that there was a little bit of Jeff like removed. You know what I mean? Like, we're not getting Jeff breaking the fourth wall at every commercial break in this era, right? Like, Jeff is supposed to be sort of a reflection of us as viewers of the game. And so we get very little screen time with Jeff other than when he is making love with Boston Rob. But we like, it's more, his frustrations are
he's being more direct just as the players are.
Yes.
Where now he is not direct and the players are also not direct with each other. And I think it creates this just like weird perspective of everything where it feels like zoomed out.
Yes.
But now it's very or like in these old seasons, it's very like zoomed in, focused on what is actually happening.
Yes.
And we're addressing what's happening.
Right. Like, there isn't a whole otherworldly aspect to it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're 20 people on an island in Samoa playing this game about lying, backstabbing, and cheating for $1 million. And I think that is a big thing. Jeff is like, these are $1 million things that you guys need to be taking into consideration. I do feel like there is that candidness in the new era, and it does come up, but it feels less vulnerable. It feels less raw. Again, this is a point we keep making this season, but it's
just, you can't not talk about it.
Right.
It's such a stark contrast.
Yeah, the juxtaposition. The juxtaposition.
Okay, nerd.
The juxtaposition. On top of this conversation between tribe strength and keeping your word, there's a conversation about social game. And James says we need to get the social players out. They're the ones that are scammers. We need to get them
in a room
out.
with David and Joe.
He's just like, if he was on Survivor 50, that would have been crazy. That's all I have to say. Like, imagine James in the new era with all the game bots and all of the, like...
He would want to quit.
He would want to quit.
Yeah.
James is just like, the social game. This is why he's a 2-time loser. Like, even if James got to the end, there's just no respect for the game he's playing.
Yeah.
You don't value the social game. The game is the motto is outwit, outplay, outlast.
Well, he's even a 3-time loser.
He's a 3-time loser. Not at this point, but soon to be.
Yeah. On his way.
On his way too. The lack of social game. I think this is the way he handles the Stephanie vote out. Mm-hmm. Like, obviously that's the key failure of James's game, is he doesn't understand that there is an importance of social capital and having people like you.
And I think in his first season, it was just such a different group of people that he could really get away with this a lot more. And in that season, him and everyone else being new to the game, I think there was this sort of just him getting the hang of things. I don't know. I think by this point, especially, he's so fed up with it. And the other people around him, like, aren't going to give him the space to, like, feel his feelings about it. Because they're like, this is your third time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it's hard for James, too, because he lost the game twice to two of the most convincing liars ever. Like, Todd and Parvati are two of the best liars the game has seen.
That's true.
And so I can understand him being frustrated with people who focus their game on the social game.
Yeah,
because he's like, because they are the threats. Like, they're going to be the ones that mastermind you getting taken out of the game. Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to hear him say that. Like, I can't imagine I guess I could, because David literally preached that all last season. But it's interesting. It's an interesting comment to have been made. Mm-hmm. Jeff goes around asking people if they're scared about going home. JT says, I know people are going to hate me for saying this. I'm not scared a single ounce. I'm not.
Jeff said, raise your hand if you're scared.
All right, moving on. Raise your hand if you were scared. What is that quote from?
I was sort of like
a Wendy Williams thing.
Yeah.
But there's a quote.
Raise your hand if you care.
Oh, raise your hand if you care. Maybe that's what it was. But were you scared? Were you scared?
That was fucking scary. My heart's going.
Oh, this is what I thought. My heart's going. I think that's what I was thinking about. Anyway, so they vote.
Yeah.
So they vote, and Tom plays his idol on himself, which I feel like was kind of expected.
Yeah.
And Sari is blindsided. This vote is this is a very interesting sort of pre-merge vote. Tom votes for Candace, Amanda, and Sari. Nope. Candace, Amanda, and Sari vote for Tom. Those 3 votes get canceled. Uh-huh. James, Rupert, and JT are supposed to vote for Colby, but JT flops his vote onto Sari. So it was supposed to be like a girl-boy split vote. So the girls were voting for Tom, the boys were voting for Colby. Mm-hmm. James, Rupert, and JT were supposed to vote. JT flips and votes Sari with Colby and Tom. So instead of it being a 3-3-2, 3 on Colby, 3 on Tom, 2 on Sari, it ends up being a 3-3-2, 3 on Sari, 3 on Tom, 2 on Colby.
I wonder... I guess I'm just kind of surprised at how well JT sort of kept everything under wraps. Because obviously we're seeing such an edited version of it, but it felt like he was much more in the middle than everyone else, and like his reaction to everything when it was like sort of flipping, and I don't know, I feel like just his relationship with Tom and Colby, as we've seen in the last few episodes, has just felt like more obvious, I guess. So I'm surprised that they didn't like flip it, or I don't know, like have the for sure people vote for Colby, because like I didn't see a world in which Tom would play it for Colby over himself when they're both on the bottom.
Yeah, but I bet had JT said I'm voting for Tom, play it on
That's
Colby.
true.
I'm supposed to be voting for Tom play it on Colby. Like I feel like Tom would have risked it. I feel like at the point where he was at, he would have rather have taken that risk than and have it work than not have it work at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sari ends up going home, which I'd like to see what the fan reaction was to that at the time.
I thought you would say, I'd love to see her back on Survivor.
No, I really do. I think she'd be really good. I think she sort of got lost in the time, but I really do think like this is somebody who could do really well in the new era.
I agree.
She her first, it was a 5th place, 3rd place in her first 2 seasons, and then what did she get? She got 16th. So pretty, like, I could imagine the girls being gagged, the fans really being like shocked Sari went out so early, because really it wasn't really her own fault. I mean, it's not like they hated her.
No, and I also think she just caught the brunt of it.
Right.
Like, because she voiced opposition to people changing the plan. I don't know.
And she got caught being the one voicing it.
Yeah.
I think had JT not heard them, I don't know. Maybe JT, it would have probably been Candace. Had JT not heard Sari talking, it probably would have been Candace going home tonight. Which, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else about this episode, Maddie?
Overall, even though it was a sad ending, I still really enjoyed the episode, and I thought there were so many fun moments throughout it that it made me less sad. And I also think now, being many years in the future and Sari about to be back on my screen again, like, I'm not too sad about it.
Right. Like, you're getting your money's worth with Sari. Like, that wasn't the last time you're going to see her.
Yes.
Well, that kind of wraps up our coverage here.
Yeah.
If you are enjoying this, make sure to subscribe on our YouTube page. You can follow along for the whole summer. We are recapping Survivor Heroes vs. Villains. You can follow us on our TikTok and our Instagram at Making Fire Pod. For our funny little clips. Follow us on TikTok. I'll sing some songs on TikTok live as soon as we get 1,000 followers.
Yeah. Hey, we're on our way.
Right. So go follow us over there. It'll be super fun. And I think that's it. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Smooches, bye. I can't wait to see how this turns out.